You know, that little thing that, yeah, who says you're that and all that? Yeah, you are all of that. And you have to be that, because why? We are the beloved children of God. And we inherit that at birth. We inherit it at birth. So your biggest job for each other, kind of what Darlene had already said, is to be here for each other, to wake each other up. We did an exercise this weekend called the card exercise. Ask your friends, they'll tell you what it is. And so if you're not on your card, someone might say, excuse me, are you off your card? Which means maybe you're not as pretty as you normally show up as. Has that ever happened to anybody here? So this is what we're here for. So I want you to turn to somebody on your left and your right and say, I am here to wake you up. And you don't have to wait till Sunday to do that. If you feel like you need a wake-up call, call someone. That's what the songs were talking about. You've got a friend and say, you know, I'm just not on my car, or whatever it is. I'm not on my game. I'm a little down. I'm a little too full of myself. Whatever it is. I have a lot of those calls. Can you help me? I can't stand myself. I'm so full of it. You know, and then so have someone who can help you figure out how you can be the best that you can be, so you show up being who you wanted to be. And there's all sorts of fun things to do with that Darlene and her crew here can help you with, to figure out what is yours to do. And then there's life, right? We talked about the shifts that happen in life. So you hear things from Nike saying, just do it. And then the military says, be all you can be. And then you come here and you hear, peace, be still. It's the divine paradox. We live in a very fast-paced world, don't we? And now with technology, we're getting even faster. And we are one world, aren't we? Because we know exactly what's happening anywhere as soon as you turn on one of those little phone things. I don't even know how to work mine. Yesterday, it wouldn't work. Oh my gosh, poor Julie. Oh, where are you? You know, and it wouldn't let me call her back. I don't understand. So I didn't throw it out. I kept it. But, you know, so think about it. How do we stay centered? How do we figure out in the midst of all that's going on here, to be the best that you can be, to say, yes, choose me. We had several people sign up, and you're all invited as well. We've got 6 months goals and some 1 year bold impact things. What's going to happen? One of the gentlemen said, I'll bring the cream, real cream for the coffee, because it was important to him. Okay, I was telling the story of one time somebody had to actually change the way the vent went in the bathroom so it didn't come out into the sanctuary. And he said, I'll do that, you know, and so it smelled better, needless to say. So some things are small and some are larger, right? And so just know that if you just take a little bit of a step, everybody takes a step. Imagine it's not the same 10 or 12 people doing everything, and things get done. And I know I'm preaching to the choir as far as that goes. So the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. Okay, so the work that we did this weekend, the commitment on Friday night and Saturday, when the sun's out, was great. And so we're going to shift a little bit here as I'm ending this talk, this message part, to show you what we actually did this weekend. Is that okay? All right. So what I'm going to do is ask my beautiful assistants, I love that, to hand out our, what you're going to receive is an actual scoring sheet for our vision and mission statement that we came up with. So those of you who were here on Friday night and those who you weren't, we asked 6 questions and we plastered the walls with all sorts of flip charts. And yesterday then we had the leaders in the church sit and discern it. So there were about 13 of us, 14, yeah, with me, 13. And so we got into all sorts of discussions and stuck, and then we got unstuck, and then we ate, and then, you know, all of that. But what we know, and I'm going to ask for my PowerPoint slide to say, you know, some people say, well, can we really make a difference? There were only 13 of us here yesterday. Yeah, and on Friday there were 40. Never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead, right? 3%, that's all it takes. 3% of anything to change the consciousness. It's the 100th monkey. And our next quote is from Carl Jung. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart, who looks outside dreams, which isn't a bad thing. Who looks inside awakens. Because when we get in touch with the truth of who we are, awakening happens. And so while we're passing these out, and you're going to also need a pen and pencil, I want to show you basically, and if you'll just put all 4 of those up there, that would be great. We're using this 4-quadrant model based on Ken Wilber's work. For any of you who don't know him and love all of that mind stuff, we're adding some heart to it. So what we have is, this is what your church organization is going to look like, and there's a business side to the church. We all know that. So in the upper right-hand corner is that we're going to go from a utilitarian model to an integral model, from hierarchical to holacracy. Let me tell you, it takes a very confident and secure minister to have another minister come in and mess with their people's heads. It does. And so all the churches are not doing this. I am not invited by a lot of churches. You're not coming to my church. I'm like, I don't want to come to your church, Okay? And so what is important is the bathrooms are just as important to be cleaned as it is that we've got a good message on Sunday. Yes? Everything's equal. Then we move over to the left-hand side of consciousness. And what that is about is the intentionality of the leadership teams. And you're going to be called forth to join some of those leadership teams. We go from managing people to modeling what it looks like. So, for example, when Jennifer cooked for us this weekend, which was superb, there was no one micromanaging her on, well, what sauces are you making, and did you butter the bread, and what kind of salad? You're making dinner, great, just do it, right? Okay. Leading to developing leaders. So you're going to have lots of programs developing you if you want to. Again, nothing's forced. Culture goes from the minister-centric, I'm in charge because I'm the minister and I'm cute, to community-centric. It does not mean that Darlene has no voice, because in the end, she's responsible for this church, right? That's what you've hired her to be. In the meantime, let's hear everybody's voice. But like I said before, that doesn't mean you each get your own way. And we had to do a lot of that. Can you see this and that? And we did all of that yesterday, and you'll understand. And then the relationships. We talked about this. From parenting to partnering. If you're familiar with family systems, what we do is we take our life, and then we project it onto someone else in our life. So imagine, I've got 6 sisters and 4 brothers, 2 parents, a stepmother, and I would be projecting that all on Jennifer if she was my minister. Ew, pretty ugly. So, I've had therapy, that's good. And so don't do that to Darlene and the leadership team. If someone reminds you of somebody in their family, deal with it. You take your hurt to the person who hurt you. We're also saying no more triangling. Guess where the new triangling is with all that gossip and stuff? Online. That's the new parking lot. So think about it when you send those emails out. Are you being positive, or are you kind of nitpicking about people? And from belonging, that's what I did for about the first 10 years in Unity. I would come late and leave early. And on the way out, if I could grab a snack, I would, or I would just leave. To belonging, okay? So from belonging to owning, which means you've taken that step and you said, I do want to become a member, and yes, I'm interested in what's happening at this church. So I show up for things.